Hello, my wonderful ninth graders. Hope you're keeping warm and safe, and welcome to your summary under 10-minute session with me. Today, we are going over a poem, which is The Road Not Taken. So, we'll first read the poem together and then get to the analysis. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. All right, now let's get to the analysis of the poem. So, about the poet, Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully about common, ordinary experiences. Now, this is his immensely popular poem, The Road Not Taken. So, in the beginning, the poet comes upon a diversion where two roads diverged in different directions. So, the poet felt sorry that he could not travel both the roads. He had to make a decision and choose one single path. At the junction, the poet stood for a long time and tried to look at the roads as far as he could. He wanted to see the roads in full and wanted to know about both the paths. But he could not see anything beyond the diversion as the roads were curved and covered with trees. In the stanza, the yellow wood refers to the forest with leaves which were shed on the road and had turned yellow. This indicates that it was the autumn season. Through this stanza, the poet wants to convey that in everyone's life, there comes a time when we have to make choices. We may not be able to see the full outcomes of making the choice, but we have to choose only one. At that time, we see the pros and cons of the situation and take the time to decide which path to take. Similarly, the poet is also taking time before making any decision. After pondering on it for a long time, the poet decided to take the other road. He felt that both the roads were equally good. He started walking on the road which had grass on it and felt that it was a better road for him. The grassy road means that the road was not used and meant that only a few people have walked on it. After walking some distance on the road, the poet felt that both the paths were almost the same. There was hardly any difference between them. Through this, the poet conveys that in our life, whatever decision we take or whatever choices we make, each choice has some advantages and some disadvantages. However, we must pick a path and follow through. Now, the poet says that both the paths seemed to be similar that morning. Leaves were shed on both the roads and they were still green. It means that no one had walked on the roads that day. He decided to take one path that day and kept the other path for another day. He knows that he cannot go back and take the other path once he moves ahead with one. Similarly, in our life, when we make one decision, we cannot go back. We have to move ahead with the same choices and face the consequences which come our way. The poet says that on one day in the future, he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time, he had reached a point in life where he had two roads in front of him, and on that day, he had to make a difficult choice. And he chose to travel on the road that was traveled by less people, so the road less traveled by. And it means that he chose something that is not a popular choice. And that decision changed his life entirely. Through the poem, the poet sends a powerful message that people should decide wisely in their life because the decision they will take will have an impact on the rest of their life. And the poet also tells us that the popular choice is not always the right choice. Sometimes traveling by the road less traveled by makes all the difference. All right, that brings us to the end of the analysis of the poem. Great life lessons in there for us. And before I say goodbye to you, a few reminders. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of these amazing sessions that we keep coming up with you. And if you want to speak English like a pro, then BYJU'S spoken English classes are perfect for you. You have a judgment-free zone where you can practice, because a lot of us hesitate when it comes to actually speaking in front of people. When we're alone in our bedrooms, in front of the mirror, we are able to speak in English, but when we are faced with actual real people in front of us, we lose our confidence. So these classes will give you a safe space where you can practice and gain that confidence. You have a discount going on, so make use of it. Link is in the description. And there are so many other benefits that come with the classes that you can see on your screens right now. So make use of this opportunity. And check out all the important playlists on the channel for you. And make sure you subscribe. I will see you next time. Please take care.